Ladies and gentlemen, in waiting a million years for France vs. Iraq, because FIFA decided to make it a 4-hour gap instead of a 3-hour gap, we are here ready to talk about yesterday, day 11, to get ourselves back on track. And I wanted to start by talking a little bit more about Room, because yesterday I mentioned 0-0 with Ecuador, played superbly, but I kind of did not value what Room did, what he brought to the table, and oh boy, was he spectacular. 15 saves, ties the record. It beats the record for the most in only 90 minutes. Tim Howard did have 16 saves in a World Cup game, but that went to extra time. Fantastic work for his country to get them a point. Again, I did talk about Ecuador in length yesterday, so I just do want to move on, saying that this is the tournament for goalkeepers. And we're going to get into that later today. Fantastic work. Another thing I want to say is my fantasy team on FIFA had Room on the bench, so 14 points just missed out there. Hopefully Diogo Costa comes up clutch against Uzbekistan. So, first game of the day, Spain, Saudi Arabia. Starts with a Lamine Yamal goal. First teenager to open the scoring in a World Cup game since Pele himself. Good display from the team. Oyarzabal, 2 goals and an assist, I believe. Played superbly. Everything went very well for that Spanish team. Back on track against the Saudi Arabia team who really only perform on match week 1 of World Cup days. Big game for them. They can breathe a little bit. They have their toughest game up next in the group, and they're now leading the charge for teams who will top the group come the end of match week 3. So I think that's a very interesting thing to watch, and it was good for them to get back to winning ways. On the other hand, Saudi Arabia is not looking too good. Got a draw to Uruguay, yes, but fell very short against the Spanish team, and they're going to be playing a tough Cabo Verde team that we will talk about later. Nothing really to look forward to in that game. For me, though, just solid from Spain, all around, everything they want to see, able to get that goal from Lamine Yamal, also get some rest, everything going perfectly for them, more or less how you would want to be drawn up. High goal difference, good solid win, clean sheet. So yeah. Now we talk about Belgium. Belgium versus Iran. And I want to start before talking about it. Jeremy Doku was talking about the due date of his child coming around the semifinals. And if he were to get there, that he would, of course, go home to go see the birth of his child. First of all, Belgium are not getting there. I'm not putting anything on it. I'm not even putting, pride on it. This Belgium team always disappoint. But second of all, the disgusting language I'd seen from people online. The French journalist, who she said that you got there for your nation and that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play in the World Cup. No, it's not. It happens every 4 years. He plays for Man City. Yes, he could get injured, but at the same time, your kid only gets born once. He's a part of that. You want to be an absent father so then he can play in a World Cup game? That's ridiculously stupid. But anyways, he was out today through illness. And they probably could have used him. But saying that, it was a lackluster Belgian performance anyways. Very lucky that the Iran free kick was offside, because it was very simple off the training ground play, and they had nothing to stop it, and that was very embarrassing from them, and they should be ashamed of that. But credit to Iran, defended well. Their goalkeeper, this is why I'm talking about goalies, he made a huge save. I've seen an image of it, and the meme just says straight or four moves. Absolutely incredible work from that team, from him for that stop in the second half, and for the rest of the team for just defending well, Me, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't really go for it after the red card, which we'll talk about in a second. But, they got a point against what people regarded to be the group leaders, and they played well. They really did, and they deserved that point. So, now they're going out there and they could really, win against Egypt and maybe even top the group or draw against Egypt and qualify. It's a tough group, but I think it's still a lot to play for all of these teams out there. So it'll be a really interesting finish, and I'm excited to see how that goes. But yeah, in terms of Belgium, they haven't lost either of these two games, so it's not like a total sound the alarm. But they failed to qualify from their group last time around, and they haven't been playing well this time around. Now, granted, if they had the points that they had last time around, this time around, they would qualify for sure, almost for sure. But it's been tough to watch for Belgian fans, I would say, and hopefully for them they can turn it around. But I don't really know where to see it. I mean, that red card from the defender was incredibly stupid. The amount of space on the field, it was almost near the halfway line, in which he pulls this guy back. It's a clear red card. He's going in one-on-one. But the likelihood of him scoring that, Thibaut Courtois on net, you got another defender who's not slow as dirt on the other side who can recover. It was incredibly stupid. Stupid decision to leave the last third of the game down to 10 men with Belgium, when of the two teams, they were the more likely team to score. You've just ruined that. And now you're down to 10 men. You can't do anything about it. So yeah, hopefully for his sake, he looks young. I hope it's not his last World Cup game. For his sake, he comes back either in the round of 32 or in 4 years from now and really knows the game better and does better with that. Doesn't get himself into these situations. But yeah, credit Iran. They've been going through a lot this World Cup, and it's great to see them get 2 points on the board and really take it to what is supposed to be the pot 1 team, the best team in this group. Ranked like number 4 in the world for some reason still. So yeah, credit to them. And then the next game up is probably the game of the day for day 11. That's Cabo Verde versus Uruguay. And this game had everything, man. Well, almost everything. Didn't have any red cards or anything like that. Cabo Verde, resilient defending. That first goal, the free kick, was absolutely superb. He rifled that in for the first goal for your nation's World Cup ever. It was unfortunate that they, fell behind. They weren't like super well worked goals either. It was more of a lapse in concentration from the defense. Credit to Uruguay for sticking in that and doing that, getting their goals. Not that I like the Uruguay national team. There's some scrappy goals, craziest goals. The equalizer, he's helping the defender with a cramp or something, and then as soon as he realizes they're on the attack, turns around and bolts up the field. He doesn't score, but it was really funny to see that. I don't believe he scored that goal. And then the other goal is just clean play through the middle. And I think Vizinho should have done better with that one. I'm not super sure about the first one. I don't remember completely the finish. He wasn't, the Vizinho from Match Week 1. I was watching with my uncle and kept saying like, oh no, my great uncle, and he kept saying like, oh, I feel like he's been bribed by, he's not playing as well. He's been bribed, but I think it's just 40. So that's how the cookie crumbles. So that was really interesting. But credit Cabo Verde, they fought back. Uruguay did not play well at all. They did not deserve 3 points. They barely deserved 1. So glad that Luis Suarez is in the crowd to see this team fumble. They gave up a goal in the second half, a super cheap goal, and then they almost score in the other half. But it's so crazy that he's offside because he's literally off the pitch. I saw it in real time. I was like, oh, I don't think he's offside. Like in real time, it's happening. I was like, oh, I don't think he's offside. The other player's coming in late. And then they showed the replay. I was like, oh, he's offside. He's off the field. Why are you off the field? You're from playing the corner. First of all, I don't understand how teams don't see that short corner is playing back to the corner kick taker do not work because they're always too slow and the defense always steps up in time. The defense didn't step up in time. How are you starting off of the field? Just get on the field and it's a goal. Anyways, crazy shenanigans. The first goal obviously was the highlight of the match. All the other goals were kind of a little bit scrappy, but I think that's down to, good defending, that Cabo Verde weren't really letting up much, and Uruguay they had Darwin Núñez up front. He wasn't scoring, he wasn't doing much. They weren't getting much up front from their team outside of Araujo, who's been splendid this whole tournament for them. And they did give up some really poor stuff. I mean, they cheaply gave up a goal. I don't know what the keeper was doing in the midfield. Just randomly, it was insane. It was great to see as a Uruguayan hater, as African supporter, underdog supporter as well. So yeah, I think this group will be really interesting in the last match week. We're gonna get to that in the end, but at first I'm gonna talk about the last game, which was the other game in the group, New Zealand versus Egypt. As a tale of two halves, because New Zealand played well in the first half. They got their goal early on. They looked more likely to score again, fluid again, similar to how they were playing against Iran, which makes me believe that this group is up for grabs. The way that they're playing, that they can play well against Belgium, who haven't been playing well. But on the flip side, in the second half, everything went to shit for them. They turned everything off, and Egypt turned everything on, and Mo Salah decided he wanted to be Mo Salah of Liverpool circa 2019. He was playing in the center of the field in that cam position, number 10 position, and it wasn't working. And I didn't think it was working. And everyone saw it wasn't working. He's not getting the ball in the right positions. He's not doing much with the ball when he has the ball. So they changed things up. They put him on the right wing. He's able to grab an assist from a corner. Obviously, they score from a good header to make it 1-1. And then he comes to life on that wing, playing the ball with the number 10, cutting inside, not starting inside, bringing the fullback inside, and finishing as a trademark Mo Salah finish. And Egypt got their win. And now they're in the driver's seat, on 4 points, I believe. Yes, a draw and a win. So, and they drew against Belgium, and they won against New Zealand. And so now they play Iran. They can draw, they can go through, they can win and go through, they can probably even lose and go through, unless some crazy shenanigans happens. But I don't think it can, because Belgium are on 2 points, and New Zealand are on 1. And if New Zealand win, they lost the head-to-head against Egypt. Yeah. So they more or less are through. They don't have to really worry. It's more about their positioning. They want to finish top of the group, so they're going to play better this last game. But, it's all for grabs, Iran with 2 points and Belgium with 2 points. I'm going to be real with you. Only one of them are going through. Even if Belgium win, both of them can go through, but I'm saying in the event that both of them draw, only one of them are going through on 3 points with a 0 goal difference. So, it'll be really interesting to see what happens with this one. I think don't count New Zealand out, but I also expect Belgium to actually bring something to that game. Doku might be back. That might be huge. They might actually nick a 1-0 win. I'm not discrediting New Zealand. I think they could go and win, but or get a draw. A draw's not enough for them. They're gonna. I think because a draw's not enough for them, and they have to go for this win, that they might end up losing in that case. And in terms of Iran, it's up in the air. I don't know. They might be getting tired because of the sanctions that they have on them, where they can't go out. They can only, go play the game in the U.S. and immediately leave. And I think that might affect them. But if it's not affecting them, it's anyone's game, man. Mo Salah finally started to turn up to the tournament. You might see him take over. You might not see him take over. And so, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. And back to the other group, Spain are in the driver's seat. They're playing a Uruguay team that's going to be desperate. They're the better team. They might control the game. It could be boring 0-0. Lamine Yamal could turn it on, they could be winning 3-0. Really, I see it more in Spain's favor. There is a case for Uruguay. They are going out there, they're playing rougher, they're playing passionate South American football. And that might be a lot for Spain to handle, but considering, some of the injury status of their main star players, i.e. Lamine Yamal, but I think they can pull through. That they've warmed up to this tournament a little bit, and they understand a little bit more, and they're going to be playing a lot better. On the other hand, Cabo Verde versus Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia can still go through with a win, probably, but this Cabo Verde team, man, I'm not saying that they're going. I hope that they get a win. I hope that they get a win. I'm not saying that they're going to win, but they're not as middle of a team as people expect them to be. They are still a very good team. You have to remember, the qualification process they went through, they are legit, and they've been showing that they're legit. And I think with the support they're growing from fans all over the world, not just Cabo Verdeans, you could see something happen there. You could see them go into the knockout round. They could be playing a big team. I think the way that group will go, I think they might qualify on a draw. I think they draw, Spain win, and then they qualify in second. And it's just first and second in their group because the other two teams are on 2 points. So I think that's how that's going to go, but I'm excited to see what actually happens. Hopefully for their case, Spain pull up in their favor. They need Spain to help them, but they also need to do the job themselves, and I think both of those things can happen. But really interested to see how these groups go. Alright, I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Maybe. It might be tonight, late at night, because I am going to the game tomorrow, and I'm very excited about that. So yeah, the talk that we'll have about day 13 will probably be a couple of days after day 13, maybe day 15. I'll talk about day 12 today. Will probably be day 12. I don't know, maybe I'll vlog some of the experience, but I'm not going alone. I'll definitely vlog some of the Croatia-Ghana experience, so look out for that. But spoilers, but yeah, going to England, Ghana tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. So like and subscribe for more World Cup stuff, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.